and see if I can get a little more clarity on how they got to that, why we couldn't get there. So I do have technical approval to bring it forward. I would not bring it forward knowing that there's something out there that is better fit for us. The cost is a little different. The cost for North Kingstown's is, I think, $26,000. The cost for ours as it stands today is 14 and change. And it's about a month longer. I'm not sure. It's about 4 months instead of 3. So I need to have that discussion. Once I have that, maybe at a special meeting, I'll bring it back and we can discuss it here. So, and that's it.
Okay. Potential special meetings.
So, there you go. Do we need special meetings? Yes, clearly we do. We need 2, so I think Sherry, we're at 2 special meetings so far?
3.
Well,
One with the joint town council.
Yeah, but that we already knew
One
about.
of our own with Jason,
Yeah,
and this
and
one
then-
to discuss them.
You could wrap that recent one in.
3
put
all
it
in
together.
before the
Yeah.
end
And the
of
one the
March.
superintendent just asked for.
right. So capital budget meeting. What was the other one?
Jason.
Jason,
So that's, I mean, there are 2 aspects of the same thing,
okay. So
right?
we'll do
Yes,
So we
why
can
don't
probably
we
do
use the account?
one evening.
The third
Yeah.
one was the joint meeting, which Sherry's already
Yeah.
pulling us
Okay.
on.
You got that, Sherry?
So I already did the joint, so
Yeah.
now I need to do one with Jason
And account.
And I guess Jason slash
Jason
capital
slash
budget.
capital.
slash
So
capital
So
if
it's
you
just 2
think,
meetings.
if we think both of those will fit in one,
and fast track application.
if we think the discussion will go longer, Jason might be able to give you a better idea of that,
Okay.
how long he needs, and that might give you an idea of do it in 1 or 2.
And you would like to do this
So,
Before the end of March.
yeah,
before the end
Well,
of March?
Mr. Lindbergh would like his meeting in the next 2 weeks.
Right, I got
And
that.
then the meeting with
And I
the
think
town
that's the
council, we've
priority.
already been polling for March.
right, but I think the stage 2 is the priority as far as.
In the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before the end of February. Okay, the next item, 2015 NESDEC enrollment projections. Mike.
I just wanted to, I've seen this happen before in the NESDEC projections, and it's a pet peeve, it kind of drives me crazy. If you look at the births that they list from 2010 to 2015, those live births that they record here do not match what is on file at the Department of Health Vital Statistics, who track live births in Rhode Island. And some of the differences are substantial. Like for 2014, they said there were 89 births. The Rhode Island Department of Health only reports 74. For 2015, they used an estimated, for 2014, which was a year old, they used an estimated number of 89 instead of using the actual birth rate of 74. It's artificially inflating the impact of what our growth is going to be. I mean, they've overstated, if you just look at those 5 years from 2010 to 2015, between the Office of Vital Statistics of the state and the NESDEC numbers, they're off by 14. They're 14 births higher in total. So that's one issue that I have. Why do they use an estimated birth rate for 2014 when that number was known a year earlier? Why aren't they using current and valid information? And secondly,
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could I'll make a motion to extend 15 minutes.
Second.
Any discussion?
Right, yeah, I don't want to go to midnight, yeah.
All in favor?
I mean,
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So moved.
okay, and secondly, I wanted to know when they did this, were they aware that we have a new charter school in the area that is siphoning off our elementary students?
I did put that in the report when I submitted it to them, that there was a new charter school that accessed kindergarten, and it'll be kindergarten first grade.
Okay.
Yes,
I didn't see, did they make any mention of it in the report? 'Cause
I don't think we ever got that.
We only got their charts, Mike, their full report hasn't come yet because it was asked that they expedite the charts. And just the live births, Mike, I know it was controversial for you going back probably 5-6 years with them, and you had an email back and forth with them. I just am a little leery of casting any dispersions on their data until you actually meet with them, because my analysis shows that even if you feel they're artificially inflated, in 11 and 12, their one-year-old projections, we ended up with 42 students more, 12, 13, 69 more, 13, 14, 38 more, 14, 15, 9 less, and currently where we have 27, well, actually it's not because our numbers are growing, so, you know, they've been doing this for a while, but I mean, if you want to challenge them on that, I think it's best to
Oh,
challenge
they
them.
were right on the money up until 2013, and then all of a sudden they started using estimated numbers rather than actual ones. So I just have a question for them, why are they using estimated when the actual birth rate is known? Because it does impact, and 2009 is the year that we had, for the birth rate for 2009, which impacted the incoming kindergarten class 5 years later in 2014, was the one where we emailed back and forth, and we never got an answer to it, but we were expecting a much higher number of kindergarten students that year, and we ended up with a much lower number than we expected. So, I mean, for planning purposes, I just don't get why they're doing that. So I would like a letter to go that just at some point, I would like to know from them why they use estimated birth rates when the actual birth rates are known. I don't get it. And as far as the future years, they use estimated in the years to come, but that's actually based on the average of the years that have already happened. So if you're using an artificially inflated number in the years that already happened, you're impacting an artificially inflated number in the years to come by using an estimated number based on the wrong number. I won't procrastinate, I won't keep it going, I'm just saying, I don't understand why they use estimated when the birth rate is correct and available. That's all, just wanted to vent again.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, responsibilities of the school solicitor as outlined in the town charter.
I just wanted to bring to the attention on the town charter, under the solicitor, it says the school department solicitor shall examine and approve the forms of all ordinances and resolutions and the forms of all invitations for bids, contracts, and other legal documents sent out by any department. And I heard that might not have happened on one contract, and it also, although we approved the bid specs for the bus, I don't think he actually reviewed the contract itself.
So I disagree with you, Mike. I don't know who said it might not have happened on one occasion. We're pretty consistent sending the bid specs to Ben's firm and contracts. You know, I don't know, I have no idea what you're talking about there, Mike.
Well, I would like
Kind
to,
of inferring that Ben never looked at a contract.
I didn't think Ben did review the bus contract prior to the assignment. I thought he said he sent him the RFP, but you didn't say he sent him the contract.
Mike, I would have never wrote that contract. I couldn't write that contract. I didn't write it.
It was a one-page thing. Okay. Listen, I won't debate it with you. I'm just saying that from now on, can we have a line on the contract or the RFP where the solicitor just initials that he reviewed the document as forms? I think that's common practice in a lot of communities, just so there's no question the solicitor did review it. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
So when an attorney reviews a contract, we review it to make sure it
Form.
would be upheld in the law.
Right.
I don't think that you would want us or somebody from our office in every circumstance to start a comparative analysis. For instance, to get the contract, compare it to the specs. I mean, we certainly could do that, but that will end up costing the district quite a bit of money.
No, I want at least you to approve it for form, which is required in the charter.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, Ben's one of the best solicitors, I think, in the state. When it comes to school committees, there are other good ones too, but he's one of the best ones. I'm very happy with his representation. I'll put that in the record.
I'll echo that.
Any other discussion?
I'd like to join the bandwagon.
I jumped in the wagon.
It's gonna be fun.
Anybody else? Yeah.
The meet is still running. I'm not agreeing to get that 15, so we can move.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is chair appointment to the school committee. Mr. Lombardi is being appointed to join Art and myself on the NSASSP contract negotiations
Do
subcommittee.
we have to vote on that?
Thank you, John. No, we'll do
It's your
that.
appointment.
We don't have to
Yeah,
vote? Wow, people make the
I was
vote.
gonna
Wow,
do
I didn't
it.
know that. The bylaws? No, I didn't see that, the bylaws.
Okay, number 10.
Change the bylaws. Change the bylaws.
Consideration of retired teachers' follow-up request to extend the COBRA benefits. What is your pleasure?
I was opposed to this before because there's options this teacher can exercise. It's not a contracted right, and I think we get into a very bad area when you start giving people benefits that they're not entitled to contractually.
You know, I did some work on that, Mike, a little bit. There's an 18-month requirement, then it's 36 months with special circumstances. And then the committee can approve it whenever they want, but then they say you should have a policy and a procedure so people don't jump on top of that. So I agree with Mike.
Does anybody want to make a motion to open it up for discussion, and if not, we move on?
Motion to open up for discussion briefly.
So what is your motion?
That we open this up for discussion. I want to ask the superintendent gives a recommendation.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Oh, discussion,
For discussion.
okay.
It's all yours. That's all yours.
I'm gonna ask a couple of
So that's no recommendation.
Well, you know what, it really is. It belongs with the school committee, not with superintendent.
that's
It's a
You're right.
subject
okay.
to the contract. There is some contract language that allows me to make exceptions. There are other contract language that doesn't. This doesn't, so. If you all feel that way about it, it's your call.
Superintendent, may I just ask a couple of questions? Madam Chair.
Sure.
So is this done routinely?
No.
No.
On that note, I'll go home.
We already asked that question.
It was last month's meeting, yeah.
Right.
Did we vote down last month?
We didn't have
We
a
did.
motion,
We didn't
so it
have-
just died for lack of motion.
For a different person?
No.
No,
No,
same
same
person.
person.
Same person.
So is this, would this cost the school department any
No.
money whatsoever?
No,
It will be something.
No?
except for expense.
Yeah,
Which depends on if the person is healthy or unhealthy.
Yes, but it
Could
also
adversely affect
creates a
our.
policy problem for future people,
Right, well.
legally. I'm just giving you the legal side.
Okay, let me just, so, and this would be for 10 months only? Is that what it, is that how
We've been doing it since 1997.
2000.
They do have the option to buy benefits through the state.
Okay, is that, they could buy the benefits?
Yeah.
Is that what these
Yes.
quotes are through the state?
Yeah, they went to health office now.
Does anyone know, I mean, I guess, I didn't go into a lot of
Yeah,
detail.
our deductible is a lot cheaper.
Well, how much, but I mean, what are we talking
Well,
about?
we got a $500 deductible, and right now that's $4,500, and then they're probably about 13,000, 14,000 family plans, about 14,000, you divide by 12, that's it.
I'd like to move it. Madam Chair, may I make a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the request.
Mr. Scungio said there's already a motion on the floor.
I apologize.
For withdrawal, I'll withdraw mine, but
I didn't know there was a motion on the floor.
He reminded me.
it was just a open,
Well, the motion was just.
Oh, so discussion, discussion.
there was no actual motion. We know that open it up for discussion.
Okay, just, Madam Chair, to move this along, I'm going to make a motion that we extend the petition, I don't know if I can say the name, the petitioner's request to extend her COBRA benefits as requested. I don't, Ben, can I say the name or do we not say the name?
Yes,
Public.
Oh, it's public? Okay, well,
I'll again second for discussion.
Any further discussion?
I'm going to be opposed to it for the same reasons I was last month, that it's not a contractual right. If you put someone, the more people in the pool, the more your experience factor is going to.
Necessarily agreeing with this.
Wait a minute.
Fair enough.
I'm going to oppose it for the same reasons. It's not a contracted right. The person was entitled to and received 7 years of single plan for the interim period from her retirement until just recently. That's a very good, generous benefit. If you put older people into the pool, your experience factor could be impacted. If there's one catastrophic accident or something, we're all going to be paying down the road. So I think you get into oh, we'll do it for this one, we got to do it for that one, and I just don't believe
It's a
it.
bad precedent.
It's a bad precedent.
Well, there's a motion on the table.
call for a vote, Madam
Could we have a roll? All in favor?
Chair. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
No.
Motion doesn't pass.
Thank you.
Motion fails. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, under new business, potential litigation, DATTCO, discussion, vote, or other action.
I'd like to make a motion that the committee authorize our legal counsel to take the lead in talks with DATTCO regarding the current contract issues.
I'll second the motion.
Madam Chair, I was going to recuse because I didn't put that closed session.
Is there any discussion?
I'd like, well, let me just state, I know that I gotta be careful because it was done in executive session, but I think that we're waiting for a short period of time for some additional information in regards to this. So I have no problem authorizing that after we receive that information, but at this point, I'd just like to hold off on it.
My motion was to authorize our legal counsel to take the lead in talks with DATTCO regarding the current contract issues, and the intent was that he take that lead role immediately.
Right.
So I just want to make
That's why I
sure we're
closed it.
clear. And I feel though, as though this has gone on for long enough, and I think we may have been at a disadvantage that we didn't use Mr. Scunzio's services earlier on in this process. And I think it's imperative for what it's going to cost us now to pay him to go to a couple of meetings or send a few emails. It's money well spent. This is a $95,000 charge we're looking at for next year, and I would like to have it handled professionally.
Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, I mean, again, if, I know you want to do it immediately. I raised my concerns in executive session. I won't re-raise them, but, you know, if it wasn't immediate, I would be able to support it, but, go ahead.
Could I have a roll call vote, Sherry?
Certainly. Mr. Bassett?
You always start.
You're alphabetical, you're alphabetical.
Do you know how often that worked to my advantage at school, and now it's just not so hard? No.
Mr. Clifford?
Yes.
Mr. Connell, you're recusing?
I was not, because I was on.
Okay. Mrs. Gillette?
Yes.
Mr. Lombardi?
No.
Mr. Raymond?
No.
Mrs. Nadeau?
Yes.
No, it's 3-3.
Fails.
Fails.
Okay, fails.
So,
Well, I'd like to then make some comments for the record.
Madam, it's 10:15, it's 10:15. We have moved, we can keep going to 10. Point of order, it's 10:15.
Motion fails.
motion to extend 10 minutes?
Second.
5 minutes. And then
Was the bylaw say it has to be unanimous or just?
Right, it has to be unanimous.
Has to be
I want
unanimous.
to ask for a roll call.
All right, that was made by Mr. Bassett, seconded by Mr. Raymond. Roll call. Mr. Bassett?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Clifford?
Yes.
Mr. Connell?
Is it 15 minutes, is that what it is?
10.
10 minutes? Yes.
Mrs. Gillette?
No, I'm sorry. I will not.
It has to be unanimous.
And with that, you're my hero.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for taking the pressure off me.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, motion to adjourn? Seconded.
Triple, third.
you realize.
Yeah.
We're going to have a special meeting. Very, very, very.
Put it on the special.
Have another special meeting.
Yeah.